All right, we are live here with the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series in the middle of their playoffs. We're round number 5 here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and oh man, we had a little late start to the broadcast, but these guys are running right on time. We saw Mike Simone and Greg Klein start this one off up at that front row, but Taver Mowry has taken a quick lead as these guys slowly start to single file out. Looks like they're going to be ticking away some laps here today, as this is a 150 lap, 225 mile long race brought to you by Maverick Simulations. Definitely go check those guys out. Thank you for that sponsorship there. We definitely appreciate it. Had some technical difficulties, so apologize about that. Running a little bit late here today, but as always, I'm joined in the booth by Mr. Alan English. Alan, how you doing today, man?
Great, man. I love playoff racing. We're only 10 laps into this feature, so you didn't miss much, folks. I mean, we have had 0 cautions so far. The 27 and the 92 started on the front row. The only thing that's really changed is that the 5 he's up there making that outside line work. He's been kind of committed to it so far this race, and it's already getting exciting.
As we see the 27 of Red Stick Mike Simone challenging that right now on that bottom line. Looks like he's just not able to get around. And down there on pit road is Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, not a lot of cars in this one here today, but that just allows for more tempers to flare, because there's no reason for any shenanigans that goes on.
Well, I mean, if they're going to fight, this is the time. You're fighting for the playoffs. It's Charlotte. It's a night race. The track is perfect weather for racing. So I don't think we're going to see too many shenanigans. But if it's close like this at the end, we may see some little boil over in the next week, and that's what I like to talk about, and that's that fighting.
As everything starts to kind of figure itself out up at the front, you still got the 10 of Matt Forens being challenged by the 24 of Joe Neidick, and Joe Neidick right now with a little bit of that upper hand, he's able to get by. So Matt Forens, who was riding fourth there for a bit, sees that 24 of Joe slide up 3 positions. So these Latte boys are moving up, because William Brown, he started pretty far into the back. He's up 5 spots already, moved up to 7th.
A lot of teams out here today. I mean, we are in the round of 8 right now, and we've got players from North-South Racing still in it, Latte Motorsports, as you mentioned, and Angry Idiots. So definitely some teamwork going to be going on here tonight as these guys try to help their teammates out. If they don't think they have a chance to win, they're going to be helping those teammates out.
Well, and we saw that before with Greg Klein and Derek Schimmel, Angry Idiots. Greg Klein, I think, helped his little teammate out there a little bit, and is going to continue to help his teammate out through the playoffs, because Greg is out, but Derek is in. But Greg is consistently a dang good driver, and I think when they get hooked up together and these teammates, that's what they're going to try to do, is hook up with one another eventually during the race, and just try to fight for that title. As Greg Klein looks like he's saved those tires and passed Taver Mowry there.
Oh, as Joe Neidick as well dive into that inside of Red Stick Mike Simone, not able to follow Greg quite so cleanly past Taver Mowry there up at the front. And here we go, we got a little battle going on for third as William Brown continues his charge up to that front little group here, and really haven't seen too many drivers fall off this kind of like main line. We see that Stephen McComas and Derek Schill are definitely kind of towards that back right now, but they're working on it, trying to get back up there. And Justin Barkley, I don't know.
Sorry, the 24 pushed up the track, almost got into the left rear corner panel of Red Stick Mike Simone, but able to jump out of the gas and not spin them. Ooh, it checked up a couple cars behind him, but staying racing. Sorry about that.
It slowed him down a little bit, but hey, just stay with the pack. I mean, this thing, there's 150 damn laps. Brown, we should have started this thing in about 50 laps, actually. Because I think we're going to see this kind of just go around and around for a little bit, you know, just stay with the pack and let it play itself out.
And thankfully, some fairly quick lap times here, about 30 seconds a lap. So these guys definitely are not going to be going too slow. As William Brown, I think, might have helped his teammate kind of get back into line there, and now starting to gather up all that momentum and get back to it. William Brown, he's sticking to that outside line like Tabor Mowry was, maybe trying to look around the 27 of Red Stick Mike. Great paint job from him, honoring all those who served in the Midwest Days of Thunder community. Got all their names all over that car. Man, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. And one of our own, Alan English, you're on the hood of that car. Thank you for your service.
I appreciate it, man. It was an honor to serve, and thanks to all the vets that are in this league, because there's quite a few of them, and Red Stick Mike made sure and put them all on the hood of that 27 machine. So thanks, Mike, for remembering to go through and thank these guys, because we live in some kind of strange times right now, and I heard somebody compare it the other day to the late '60s, early '70s, and there's kind of that vibe kind of coming back again, unfortunately. And thanks to guys like Mike for doing what he did. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you.
Yeah, to be honest with you, my dad said this is way damn worse than the 60s and 70s, what's going on today. And he said something about FJB, Fred Jones bumpers. I don't know what he was talking about, but he did say something like that.
As we got some people doing some lane changes, position changes out here in the back. You got Tony Fry making some moves, Michael Compare making some moves now, maybe making use of those tires that they've been trying to save. Justin Malarkey, typically, especially at these short tracks, we don't see him in the back for too long here, but he's still hanging out. I mean, in the back here today is 9th and 10th, so I take that as you will, but still got tons of time and laps left here to go. William Brown trying to climb his way up to that back bumper of Greg Klein, who is still in the lead. I think maybe Tabor Mowry, his teammate, let him by to maybe try to chase Greg down and drag everybody back up to him. But for right now, Greg is still out there in that clean air all by himself with about a half-second gap. And that's about the gap we're seeing all through this field other than in the back.
Yeah, and thanks to Grumpy Gramp Racing on Facebook for chiming in. They're pulling for Forns tonight. A couple of the Grumpy Gramps guys help out a lot in the MDOT League with admin duties and, contributing any way they can. So we appreciate the GGR guys here.
Yeah, it looks like Red Stick.
Oh, almost contact with the 5 of Tabor Mowry. Getting a little squiggly there, I think. On these older tires, we are, they're definitely fading off, and I can only imagine how scary that situation was as Tony Fry continues his little charge up here, making his way up to that back bumper of the 10 of Matt Forns. So we got a little 3-car battle going on here with Joe Neidick, Matt Forns, and Tony Fry.
Joe Neidick in that Bush machine right there. He's got the Army-Navy game going on beside him, and behind him is Navy vet Matt Forns driving that Rainier beer machine. He's got Tony Fry in the 64 that the Army vet driving that Viagra machine, and looks like Joe's got them split up for now.
That's yeah. I think we're not going to worry about fuel windows here. I think we're worried about tire windows.
Tires.
And there's only 12 guys on this track. We started this league with a bunch more drivers, but people that aren't in the playoffs tend to fade away a little bit. But next season, these guys better get ready because we're going to see a full field here, I think, in the Cup Series Midwest Days of Thunder.
Speaking of Navy vets, speaking of sailors, the 92 of Greg Klein has got a pretty decent lead out there right now, as he's looking in his rearview mirror saying, "Yeah, you guys go too wide back here, Simone and Mowry. You guys fight it out. Give me a little bit more breathing room."
Now, at the same time, William Brown has chased him down a little bit here, now down to about 0.2 of a second. So those two definitely driving away from these guys, opening up a 2.5 second lead over third and fourth, which are currently fighting. It looks like Red Stick Mike just finally got by Taver Mowry, but man, those tires are definitely feeling it.
Yeah, I think Greg's probably calling these guys a bunch of hacks, and he should be in the playoffs right now. I think there's a war going on.
Greg's out there for himself tonight. I mean, yeah, we talked a little bit. If he can help Schimmel move into the next round of the playoffs or into the final, he will. But his top priority right now is getting a win. So Greg's going to do everything he can right now to stay up front and try to get that win.
Well, not only that, but same thing with William Brown, currently also not in the playoffs. So if either of these two guys win, that's just going to make it harder for these guys to move on to that next round, because no one's getting that free ticket.
Yeah, you just got to you got to point yourself in, and if you're the guys in the playoffs and you watching these guys drive away, Brown and Klein are going after it now.
And here comes Brown down that inside line, able to get around Greg Klein here. And I think once again, Greg just maybe realizing the situation, not going to fight too much on that pass. Just let him come on by. We got a heck of a lead. Let's just keep on riding, and who knows, maybe even use William Brown as a little bit of tow here to gain some extra speed.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And thanks, Thomas S., for watching us on YouTube. We appreciate it. He's pulling for Taver Mowry tonight.
Everybody loves Taver. Taver's playing sick right now. Racing sick. I shouldn't say playing.
Really?
Yeah, he's got some kind of, he's down and out, but he's out there putting the laps in, and that's a good thing about this league. They're really good people here in Midwest Days of Thunder, and it's a growing league, and we're going to see a huge field in the Cup Series. It goes ARCA, Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, and you progress your way to the top. And I'm looking forward to next season for sure. But if you're one of these guys that's not with Brown and Klein, which most of them aren't, you just run your own race, man. You're still in the playoffs. Run your race.
As the 10 of Matt Fornes making a little bit of a run here later on, moving past Taver Mowry up into fourth. He's now got that 64 Tony Fry, though. Tony's been moving up throughout this race as well. Tony being one of those playoff contenders. He's making up some ground. He's up 4 spots right now, working on that inside of Taver as we speak.
I wanted to talk a little bit about Maverick Simulations, tonight's race sponsor. A little bit about them that from their website. Go to mavericksimulations.com. They talk a little bit about themselves here. They've got everything for your racing needs as far as rigs, equipment, shifters, whatever you need. And they say on their website, virtual racing is becoming more commonplace in today's motorsports environment, with sanctioned and structured events competing for real cash and prizes. just like this league here, today's racers need every advantage possible, and Maverick Solutions looks to help that virtual racer compete on the novice to amateur to the pro level. Licensed products with many suppliers. Go check these guys out, man. Not only do they have competitive online marketplace, but their staff is experienced with racing in the real world. These guys are real race car drivers, so they know how to help you out in the iRacing hobby, or it's becoming more than a hobby. These guys do this a lot now, and some guys are making pretty good money at it, but they understand your needs and wants, and they're always going to be there to help you get to the checkered flag. So go to mavericksimulations.com and check out all the things that they can do to help you in your racing career online.
Yeah, and we've talked about them before, and if you look at their website, some of the stuff is pricey. But hey, this is a simulation. This is the closest thing you're going to get to a real race car. And you want to actually drive a real race car, try paying for that damn thing.
You cannot run a street stock car or a sprint car for, anything less than 40, 50 grand.
Yeah, and you can make money doing this stuff too. Yeah, iRacing, there's money prizes everywhere. You can take the advantage, get on their website, buy some of their stuff, check their gear out. It's going to help you out in the long run, and you're gonna enjoy it.
As we continue to see Taver Mowry, man, he just got freight trained or something. He lost a whole smack bunch of positions there. So now Justin Malarkey back up there in 6th, Stephen McComas in 7th, Joe Neidick in 8th. So I think Taver, I know he's running, feeling not so hot right now, but man, he's definitely dropping like a fly, they would say. And you also got Michael Bempere, who we saw trying to make a little bit of a charge. He also is dropping back now. He's being challenged a little bit here, challenging Taver Mowry for 9th.
And Grumpy Gramps Racing on Facebook saying, GGR is officially moving to Xfinity, I guess next season. So I'll look for those guys.
Official announcement.
I tell you what, if you want to, not just a good laugh, but if you want to watch some good competitive racing, go check out Grumpy Gramp Racing on Facebook, and those guys are a riot. They're a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's all about having fun and racing hard to those guys, and having fun is an understatement. And watching Derek Schimmel, he's having a rough one so far. I don't think Greg's gonna be able to help him out. He's setting P11 as we click off these 42 laps or so.
Yeah, he's definitely fallen off of the back of that main pack. Same thing with Taver Mowry. He's fallen way, way back. I mean, from everybody. Same thing with Michael Bempere, who's looking to the inside of him right now, trying to make a pass. This is, for that 9th, 10th spot. As we continue to tick laps away up here, we got Matt Forns all over that back bumper of Red Stick Mike. Tony Fry currently sitting in 5th with a little bit of room, maybe trying to claw his way back up to Matt's bumper there. You got that 24 of Joe Neidick having a good little battle there with Stephen McComas and Justin Malarkey. And man, oh man, this one's still pretty close around here in areas. I know we're 44 laps in here into this 150 lap race. When do you guys think we will start seeing pit stops? Do you think right around the 50 mark and split this thing into thirds?
Yeah, that's what I would be doing. I mean, look for these guys to start pitting here in about 5 laps or so. And William Brown up 11 spots overall. But look who's sitting right there in 5th. Army veteran Anthony Fry with his Army brother Isaac Degner spotting for him tonight. Couple of soldiers teaming up and helping each other out. Right now, sitting pretty good right there in the 5th position.
Yeah, I think lap 50's you called it. I think that's when they're gonna try to, do the pit stop thing. But I just started thinking. I was doing a lot of deep thoughts today. I've had some things going on, and I'm wondering if Derek Schimmel is really slow He's out in California. I'm wondering if they tax him on fuel mileage out there. If he's got to let off the gas, if there's like some kind of, government control with what he's doing out there on the racetrack for the virtual fuel and everything. That may be a strategy.
I do know that I think Governor Newsom is making him wear a mask in his own house while he's racing.
That's confirmed. I talked to him.
Confirm that.
Confirmed. Yeah, I talked to him today.
Oh,
he said he has to wear a mask indoors in his own home at all times, and he's complying with.
And he's had all the vaccines.
Every one of them, and they didn't. Yes, we have to stay safe out there, especially when you're at home. That's the worst place to be, especially if you have kids.
And he did have, from having all the vaccines, the third arm he had growing out of his left side of his rib cage, he did have it removed this week, but he still has to wear a mask.
Just 2 weeks to flatten this curve. That's all he's doing. They told him 2 weeks to flatten the curve. It's been 20 months. He doesn't care. He's letting it roll. He's following the California rules, and he's out there putting the laps in and also saving fuel, virtual fuel that is.
Well, let me tell you right now, we got the 48 of William Brown swimming like a jellyfish out there up at the front, really with not too much pressure from Greg Klein behind him, but Greg has not really left him that much. So these two, I think, coming down to the end, it's going to all be down to pit stops, and I know both of these guys work on their green flag pit stops, so this one might be a very interesting battle to watch as the laps tick away. You got the 10 of Matt Forns in Red Stick, Mike Simone still kind of bumper to bumper, trying to maybe crawl their way back up there, but right now Greg Klein with a almost 5-second gap over Red Stick Mike there in third. It's going to be a tough challenge to ask of some of these guys, as Tony Fry looks like he might be coming down into the pits. No, that's Stephen McComas and Justin Malarkey.
Yeah, and also watch them down here when they come on the pit road. It is a little bit tricky. You're coming about 160, 70 miles an hour out of turn 4, and you got to creep down in there and.
I can get it down to 45 miles an hour.
Yeah,
it's
pretty tough. But I
had some breathing problems a minute ago.
Well, we both did. That's why we have jellyfish to calm us down. Thank you, Brown, for that. And I love jellyfish.
Red Stick Mike and Matt Forrence and Joe Neidick. So we're definitely starting to see people come down. Michael Pimpere, Taver Mowry, all coming down. And so that's leaving William Brown, Greg Klein, Tony Fry, and Derek Schimmel still out there. No, Derek Schimmel coming down pit road now too. So only 3 drivers electing to kind of stay out here. And it looks like Greg Klein is going to start joining that party coming down pit road. So William Brown still out there kind of on his own. And I think this is now the situation. If you're William Brown, you're seeing everybody come down, and when I say everybody, everybody's come down as Tony Fry makes the dive down pit road now. You got to start thinking about coming into the pits, because you're not going to be running too hot compared to these guys with newer tires.
No, he definitely needs to as soon as he can, just to keep the tire fall off and everything together. And here he goes.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's on the same strategy at this point. Y'all made a great call. 51 laps. That's pretty much it. So,
and
it's a small field. You're going to have to kind of stay with what everybody's doing.
And sometimes, when you see this happening, and this might have gone through William Brown's mind, is that, well, everybody's pitting on 50. I'm going to pit on 51 just so I have a more clear pit road. I don't have to worry about hitting anybody, getting in or out of my pit box, because these guys should be, you don't always see it, but they should be running that right lane until they get close to the pit box, and then then move over and then get in your pit box. Not all the drivers do that. That's something maybe the rules committee can look at. I think that it may already be in the rules.
In this, in Midwest Days of Thunder, you definitely need to be right until it's your turn to get left. So they already have that covered, and it simulates real NASCAR racing. And that's kind of the cool thing about Midwest Days of Thunder. It's progressive. You work your way from ARCA to Cup. You know, if you're willing to work and want to get to Cup, you better start at the bottom. In a team environment as well, right? So there's a bunch of teams. You can get picked up by a team. It's team points, team championship. It's literally set up almost just like the NASCAR series is.
North-South, Mike Simone, the 27 machine, our Patriot tonight in that 27, just set the fastest lap of the race, a 30.16.
I don't know if you can say Patriot anymore. Is that allowed?
I'm gonna say it. I don't give a damn.
I'm just wondering.
That man cares about his country. Look at all the paint schemes he makes. Look at the one he's running tonight. That's a man who loves his country. Baton Rouge's own.
So does the Mr. Maine Pimpere.
Absolutely.
Michael Pimpere's got a cool paint too with the American flag on it. You know, if it says America on it, you and I know Brown as well, but we love it. Bring it on.
Like 100%.
As the you blink and you miss it, that's your pit stop cycle for everybody here today. William Brown was able to get out of his box in time. Greg Klein not with the best pit stop there. I think he made up for it with the entry and exit. But he might have missed the spot by a little bit there, and the crew needed to readjust. But he's still hanging on into second. Red Stick Mike Simone knocking on that door, though, sitting there in third. Matt Fornes hanging on to fourth. Justin Malarkey currently in fifth, with Stephen McComas sixth. Joe Nidick seventh. Just talking about him, Mr. Maine in that 21 car, currently riding around in eighth. Taver Mowry now all the way in ninth place, way out of this kind of race here, and got Derek Schimmel rounding out that top 10. But Tony Fry also looks like he's been having a little bit of a thing going on. He not even
packets.
He got disconnected.
Oh no!
The packets.
Same thing
with
the
broadcast.
Same thing with Justin Barkley. It looks like he's currently not out there. As Red Stick Mike coming around Greg Klein right now, looking to that inside, and looks like he bailed out of it.
Yeah, we wasn't able to make that bottom line work right there. But I think one of the races we saw, look at how slow the pit stops have been. 14, 15 seconds. I think because these guys don't have any fast repairs, they might have some optional body damage just from maybe scraping each other or maybe scraping the wall. So a lot of really slow pit stops. Almost 16 seconds for Joe Nidick.
Well, he might have had some, but I watched Greg Klein, and he went a little short stop, and he shorted the pit a little bit, so he had to move up. I think that cost him about at least half a second or maybe a second or so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good insight there.
Yeah, I'm on the pits, dude. I'm down here drinking cold beer. I got to do something. Earn my paycheck.
Appreciate the work you do down there.
A virtual paycheck. Yeah. Thank you.
And for all our regulars out here watching, you might realize we're missing one of kind of our better drivers here in the league, and that's going to be Alan the Slider Dixon, running his Coca-Cola car. Unfortunately, he had a deer loss in his family just a little bit ago here today, and for those of us up here in the booth, and I know all across the league, we've been seeing it in the Discord and sending prayers and love to his family as they go through a tough time right now, and we're thinking of you, Slider, and giving you lots of love, buddy.
Yeah, Slider, there's nothing we can say that will even come close to helping you guys, because especially something so sudden, we don't even really know what to say about it. Just that we're praying for you, bud, and your family, and just terrible news for Mr. Dixon today, and yeah, we're praying for you, buddy. We love you, and if you need anything, please reach out.
Yeah, and it's a family. Midwest Days of Thunder is a family. So
It is definitely.
prayers for that family. But and that's the cool thing about this group is we might fight or argue, or they might fight or argue on the racetrack or whatever, but they do care about each other. If you're looking for a racing home, Midwest Days of Thunder, great place to start. I think we had a guy actually start today, and he thought he could get into this race.
Yeah, they put it.
But it'll get you. I like the aggression a little bit, but now you got to start in ARCA. Trucks will be your next move. Then you'll have Xfinity, and you can come race with these big boys up here. And I can't wait for next season because that's when we're going to see lots of movement, lots of new drivers in the Cup Series. I think y'all are probably looking forward to it as well.
100%. You know, and the great thing about this league is that the owner, the admins, you know, all the supporters, the league owners, they do have meetings and try to improve things, and they're very open to suggestions for change and stuff like that. So it's an evolving thing. So if you want to get into a league that listens to the drivers, listens to the owner, you know, and makes common sense decisions on stuff, you know, please, if you're an iRacing member, go look in the league directory, Midwest Days of Thunder, send in your application. You won't regret it, trust me. We all three of us that are broadcasters now, we've raced in this league in multiple series, and it was a blast. I'm telling you, it's great, fun. Great fun.
And adding the trucks is going to be awesome. And a lot of volunteers do a lot of hard work for this league. You know, we'll put up our next season. We'll put up my Venmo account. Y'all can send me some money for booze, so we can do these races. You know, we work for booze here, Midwest Days of Thunder. I guess
Seth on YouTube saying, "Can't wait to see full send racing in the Cup and Xfinity Series."
Oh man,
hope to
awesome!
Have great races with the best of the best. Look forward to that too. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to see these new drivers, new teams. It's going to be super fun. As looks like Anthony Frey worked his way back. He got his packets back somehow. That's the iRacing term for your internet is kind of screwed. Looks like he's back on the track.
He is, and he is a lot of laps down here today, so I think he's going to end up finishing there in 11th. But you never know until the fat lady sings, as they would say, and it's still got a few laps to go until that point, as we are now on lap 70, moving on to 71 here of this 150 lap race. Been following here the 21 of Mike Pimperas. He was trying to chase down the 24 of Joe Nidick, but that charge has seemed to have been spent, and we now got the 24 of Joe Nidick creeping up on that back bumper of the 70 of McComas. Well, we got a quick little break here as Mike Simone coming down pit road.
That's kind of strange, isn't it?
Well, this is an opportunity to maybe short pit, maybe anticipating a late caution. So you could make a few positions if you go in and get tires before a few of these guys, and I don't know, maybe doing the opposite kind of helps you sometime.
Very interesting call.
Yeah, George Costanza did the opposite one time. It worked out every single time for him.
Every time, yes.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to do the opposite of what your instincts tell you, and that might mean your instincts are bad, but it worked out for him. Yes, Seinfeld for you people out there that don't know.
As we continue to tick laps away here, let's take a look at what our current playoff bracket does look like. With Joe Nidick and Derek Schimmel leading that charge points-wise here. And this round of 8. And, you know, these guys up at the front, William Brown and Greg Klein, they're going to be taking that win away from somebody here. I think one of these two are going to win it. So these guys are all going to have to probably point their way into that final race here in Kentucky in a couple weeks. But Taver Mowry running in these playoffs, Mike Simone, Mike Pimpere, Tony Fry, Justin Malarkey, and Matt Forens all still in it with a chance to be that crowned champion of this great long season that they had. Man, we even joined like halfway through, and it seems like we've been doing this series forever.
It's been wonderful, and got Joe Neidick right here. He's looking to the inside of that 70 machine of McComas. Side by side, they're running through the turns here.
The old race within the race.
Coming through the damn tri-oval. I guess that's really a quad oval here, I think is what they call it.
It's tricky, I know that.
It narrows up. When you come out of 4, it really does narrow up. If you're 2 or 3 wide, it does get kind of hairy coming into that front stretch there. Oh, it's the 24 clips the 70. The 70's around the outside wall. We got a big wreck.
Hitting the 23 as he came across. No caution.
Wow.
What? There should have been one. Pimpere got involved.
No, everybody was clear.
Well, Pimpere looked like hit McComas as he slid across the track.
I think they were off the race's surface, though. Weren't they on the apron?
Well, we'll take a quick look at that again here in a second as Matt Forens and Justin Malarkey have switched up positions a little bit here. And so Justin Malarkey not having the best of starts, kind of hanging out in the back now, up there into third. He's got 8 seconds to catch up to Greg Klein there in second. So tall ask for Malarkey, but he's a guy, he could definitely possibly do it, as William Brown is, 2 2/3 second clear of Klein right now. But as stated, let's go back and watch this race in action. Oh yeah, the 24 just got up into that quarter, and yeah, Michael Pimpere nowhere to go as the 70 was going all over this racetrack. It looked like for a second Pimpere there might have had some severe damage, but I don't know if that ended up getting just net coated or what off of his car. And even that 70, that motor is not looking too good, so I think it's going to be race over for Stephen McComas.
Yeah, I heard it. His engine blew when he hit the wall. That was strange. It's a computer thing. iRacing isn't perfect, but it's a awesome simulation. So if Pimpere's still running, he got lucky.
Isaac Degner posting on YouTube saying, well, it was a good season, gentlemen, from the 64 team. Anthony Fry with connection issues, and Isaac Degner with connection issues, and a couple of Army vets, a couple of soldiers that won't be back in this race tonight, probably.
Not tonight, but come on back for the next race. We're racing.
I was going to say, knowing how this race probably, I'm saying probably, of course, commentator curse. We almost had a yellow that would have grouped everybody back up. Next week's going to be even more important by the looks of it. So it's all right having a rough race here today. Just bring your A game next week.
Yeah, man. And then next week is going to be Richmond. I think 240 laps at that place, so that ought to be wild.
Yahtzee, that's always a
man. You picked a perfect time to Yahtzee.
D-shaped track to run.
Yeah, it's awesome. But Brown, what do you think? Do you think this is kind of what we expected here?
Kind of. We saw a lot of action going on early on when this race started, but we also kind of knew as this thing went along, it was going to get spaced out like it is right now, and people trying to, just cruise around, make up some ground. Like the 96 of Derek Schimmel there, he's currently riding around here in 8th. He's caught up to, Taver Mowry actually got back around him at one point, and so Derek trying to get his way back up to that 5 and make a pass to move up here into 7th. And every position will matter here today, and that is for certain. Every single bonus point, every single pass, it will matter.
And I think Derek might have played his cards right. He knew he wasn't. And I did talk to Derek before this race, and I know he was having a trouble, especially on the pit entrance. But I think he just being really, really conservative, and it's going to help him because, the more points you can gain here, you got one more race to point your way into that championship. So, I mean, just do what you can. I mean, if you're a little lacking on skill at a certain track, just keep running those laps away, and you're going to move a little bit. And he's already moved up 2 spots from where he started this thing.
As we continue to tick laps away here, we're going to take a quick break for a station identification, a little bit of promo stuff that didn't get to earlier on, but we'll be back in just a moment with the rest of this race as we're approaching our second round of pit stops here, with William Brown leading Greg Klein by about 3 seconds here, and Greg Klein, whole bunch of room, Texas-sized room here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Once again, 2 series for us here, the Midwest Days of Thunder Cup Series. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Rocky M150 brought to you by Jinx Shifters. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Jason over here, Signature Esports.
And welcome back, everybody, as 10 of Matt Forms. Man, I don't know if his kid snuck up behind him or something, but he lost control of that car there coming out of turn number 4. Was able to hang on to it, but he has lost that back bumper of Joe Nidick, who he was crawling his way up to, and he's now got his fellow admin of Mike Pimpere sitting right there on his back bumper.
Yeah, Mike Pimpere, one of the remote members of Who Dat Nation, up there making some pretty decent laps in that 21 machine
What's
tonight.
Who Dat Nation?
If you don't know, you don't know.
I know it's something about New Orleans and Louisiana. I don't.
Oh yeah, he's Saints.
He is?
Oh yeah.
From Maine?
Yeah, I really don't know how that occurs. I know there's a lot of French Canadians that moved to South Louisiana from that part of Canada that's just north of him.
But he's not in Canada. He's in Maine. That's where the moose are.
I know that.
It doesn't make any sense. We're going to have to delve into
from
this.
me? What do you want?
I don't know. Nothing. Your gumbo recipe, which I got. Thank you.
Hey,
very
you're
much.
welcome, man. Use it in a good health.
I will.
And we join back here, kind of getting down to that lap 100, which we expect to probably see people come down. Or do you think they're going to push it just a little bit longer this time, just in case something at the end happens and they're going to have that fuel and they can just come down and take tires?
I think once you're committed to a two-stop strategy, you got to follow through, especially when you don't have a yellow to line everybody back up. You got to stick to it, because consistency is very important when you have a run like this where you're counting on the same tires the same type of tire run that you just ran. You want to do that again. So I think right here at 100, you're going to see most of the field pit at 100, and you might have a straggler or two. You might have a couple guys that short pit. So we'll see. I think everybody's going to pit between 98 and 102.
Well, like William Brown.
Here comes Brown.
He pitted on 52. And what's his play? Is he going to go the extra, taking an extra lap or two? It seemed to have worked out for him.
Looks like he's doing the opposite. I think he's going to pit early here.
Well, if he does, that'd be a surprise.
If he tried to, he missed it. But that allowed Greg Klein. Big time mistake there from William Brown, and Greg Klein now able to close up that gap just a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was chattering on the radio about something else. I'm not sure what's going on out there, but interesting.
Isaac Degner saying, I mean, if Harry Gant can pull it off, they might be able to pull it off next week, but they're in a win, the must-win situation pretty much right now.
They can do it. Just put the practice laps in. I mean,
oh, he will,
and those guys will. I mean, just and that's what this is about, man. If you're having a rough week this week, work on next week.
Yeah, that's right.
Such a cool series, man, and I'm really looking forward to Richmond, because I know there's going to be a fight over there.
As Justin Malarkey makes that turn to come down pit road, one of our first takers here, and Tony Fry, kind of just back to him for a second. He does have a win already in these playoffs, so anything is definitely possible. Tony, not a bad driver, so anything can happen. As Derek Schimmel also making that turn to come down pit road, but both William Brown and Greg Klein still staying out. Same thing with our kind of top 6.
Well, Klein and Brown are a couple of the cars that waited a lap or two after everybody else. They pitted at 51 and 52, respectively. Everybody else was pretty much in at 50, so they may stay an extra lap or two out just to make sure they have a little bit fresher tires at the end.
As Matt Forns and Tabor Mowry come on down pit road there. It looks like Tabor got a little close to that pit wall, but able to keep it off of it.
Definitely don't speed, though, because under green flag, conditions, you don't want to speed. And here comes Joe Nidick.
And we're going to start just seeing them cycle in and cycle out. And I still, like we were talking earlier, Brown, it's William Brown and Greg Klein race. That's it. So everybody else is running for third.
This is looking more and more like it's going to run flag to flag. Green flag just because we have such a small field. There's only a dozen cars out here today.
As William Brown, Greg Klein, and Mike Pimpere yet to pit. And as I say that, here comes William Brown. He kind of saw that 10 of Matt Foran's come out of the pits and start to try to maybe get around him. But here we go. Got a couple guys coming down pit road. Let's see if Mike Pimpere joins them. He's currently in turns 3 and 4 right now. And yes, he will. He makes that early turn to not taking any risks here to get slowed up. Just going to take his time and work his way down here. So everybody making their pit stops here, looking like it's going to be our final pit stops, and unless something absolutely crazy happens, as William Brown makes his way out of the pit lane now with a pretty solid pit time. Same thing with Craig Klein, looking a little bit better than the last ones.
Hey, he hit his box on time. He hit it right. So.
3/10 off of Brown's pit time, but still he's that 5-second difference not really affected by a pit stop.
No, but look at this. The 73 of Justin Malarkey came down kind of one of the first takers here on lap 99. He's able to squeeze around and get around Greg Klein here. So got a little bit of a position thing going on as Tony Fry is currently
warmed up,
sitting there in the mix right now, trying to get back to it, and found his packets and still running around here. He's going to be due to pit anytime now. And so Greg Klein now sliding all the way I can't say all the way, but sliding down into third. Got a little bit of space to make up here to Justin Malarkey. We did see Justin close the gap before those pit stops by about a second, and he's now got that just over a second gap over Greg Klein. So still looking at a possible podium finish here for Klein, as he's 9 seconds clear of the 24 of Joe Neidick. But I mean, really, that's a big move for Justin Malarkey, as he is still in these playoffs, and if he can get a second place finish, and who knows, we've seen him claw some very big gaps away. It's currently just under 4.5 seconds up to William Brown. Who knows, he could find himself here in that winner's circle and guaranteeing that spot into the final round of these playoffs.
Well, if there's anybody in the field that knows how to save tires, it's that 92 machine of Greg Klein. The sonar man himself, that was his job when he was an enlisted man in the United States Navy. Thank you for your service. And he knows how to manage those tires, so he's going to just stick with them as much as he can. But he doesn't want to finish third. He wants a win tonight.
Yeah,
so.
he's not going to play around with. And looks like he's gaining ground on Malarkey at the moment. So he lost a little momentum when he was coming out of the pits, and hey, he's got 4 fresher lap tires than Malarkey as well. So that may play into it. Time will tell. As we're sitting here with 109 laps. We only got 40 to go, 41, 42. Hell, I don't know.
Yep.
We're getting them down.
Another car we need to talk about tonight, the 96 of Derek Schimmel. Derek Schimmel, he was one of those guys that worked frigates in the United States Navy, and he's probably immune to motion sickness or seasickness or whatever you want to call it. Because if you're on a frigate, man, you're in some rough crap. And Derek Schimmel, up 2 positions, started in 10th. Currently sitting in 8th. So,
look at Greg Klein right now, bro.
Oh, here he comes. He's coming around the 73.
side by side through turns 3 and 4, heading up into this front straightaway, neck and neck, and coming across the line. Looks like Greg Klein just barely clear by a hair and able to squeeze back around that 73 of Justin Malarkey. So Greg Klein back up into second, but I don't believe this battle's over by any means, as Michael Pimpere is all over that back bumper of Taver Mowry right now as well, looking to try to get around him.
Well, you got to have a little battles all over the track. Even though we're spread out, people are still fighting for position. And I can't believe Michael Pimpere, Mr. Maine himself, his car is actually in one piece. I guess there was a little netcode issue, which it's iRacing term for computer failure. He didn't get as much damage as he should have when McComas came down in front of him. He's making a move, isn't he?
And now here we go, side by side across the line. Pimpere and Mowry battle for the trying to steal away that 6th place spot from the number 5.
Ooh, come on, who dat?
You were talking about who dat?
That's Michael Pimpere, man.
Yeah, I know.
He's a remote member. He's
like
a what do you call it? You can't call him a nomad, I guess, because that only applies to.
Well, they're battling. I got something to say about that after this battle's over.
It's not over yet. Still side by side, these two giving it everything they got. I think they realize kind of where they're standing right now and how this race is running. Trying to give it as they are neck and neck, almost touching there. You couldn't slide a piece of paper between those two cars. Thankfully, no netcode got involved there, as these guys are still side by side.
Yeah, what point do you let out of it? We still have quite a few laps to go. Or are you just going to keep pushing it until it's like playing poker? Is somebody going to fold or what?
It's almost like rolling dice. What was the name of that town?
In Waco, rolling dice in Waco, you're going to hit snake eyes every time.
And William Brown is definitely not gambling anything, as he's kind of backed his times off a little bit. He ran a 31:50, or I'm sorry, a 31:47 last lap. He's kind of let out of the accelerator a little bit, as he's got some breathing room between himself and the 92 of Klein.
A lot of good action there, Brown. I mean, for what we've got the few amount of cars tonight, which we normally don't, check out Midwest Days of Thunder. Huge fields next season, I promise you that. But we've seen some pretty good action, wouldn't you say?
I would definitely say so, and I can kind of hear what you're talking about there, English, as William Brown, we're taking a ride in his car right now with the Maverick Simulations roll bar cam, and he's definitely lifting in these corners. He's really not pushing that car to its absolute limit, probably just trying to save a little bit.
Yeah, well, Greg's after him, and Greg knows how to save too, but he also knows how to win. So yeah, it'll be fun to see how it turns out. I've had a really good time watching this race. You know, the Who Dat Nation. What about the Who Day Nation? Have you ever heard of that, Who Day?
I can't say I have.
No, that's the Bengals. I think they copycatted your deal down there, English.
We ain't worried about them.
Well, Who Day. I wonder if Taver Mowry from Ohio, if he's a Who Day.
Well, we ain't worried about the Ohio game.
Well,
no, we're not worried about them. But
yeah,
we are worried about,
tough.
we want to talk about MaverickSimulations.com, as if you're into iRacing, and I mean Maverick Simulations, they have everything. They have speakers and sound. They have bases for steering wheels, shifters, pedals. If you really want to get into iRacing and go all out, go to MaverickSimulations.com and check out the inventory they have. They have full up racing rigs. ready to go stuff that you can put in your house. It doesn't take up a whole lot of room. If you've got a piece of a room that's 6 foot by 3 foot, you've got enough room to put a racing rig in your house. Sprint car simulator components. If you love dirt tracking, racing gloves, controls, these guys have it all. They even have apparel. So go check them out. Go check out MaverickSimulations.com. If you're really into racing, iRacing, dirt track, this kind of stuff, it doesn't matter. They have whatever you want to buy. So please go hit those guys up. They're sponsoring tonight's race, and we really do appreciate them.
As Matt Forns gets his doors absolutely blown off him by the 21 of Compare, and now it looks like the 5 of Maori trying to make a move, and Matt Forns, I don't know if he's saving something here for something late, but he's slowly fading kind of toward the background of this race.
Do you think he was just making a joke there with Tabor? Do you think his son is messing with his equipment there? Or trying to scare him too much? Matt Bourne's having a pretty good race, though. He's down 3, which that's better than being down like 10 like normal for him.
Ouch.
I'm just calling it like I see it. I've watched this stuff go on for a while.
Yeah, it's it's tough to say. I don't know. I know Matt had a pretty good start there, up in 4th, but it's slowly kind of trickling his way back. He's got to be careful, as Derek Schimmel has been not super fast here today, but he's been pretty consistent. Just looking at his overall lap times, just in general, he's been plugging away in his own world. Really hasn't had too many battles to deal with either, so Derek Schimmel, if this race comes down to it there for 7th place, I think Derek might actually have a little bit of something for him.
He'll dump him for tacos.
We got the GGR guys on Facebook talking junk about the Bengals and the Saints. Oh, Lord, you can't do that. They're pulling for the Colts. Colts?
The Colts?
Who do the Colts got?
Peyton Manning, is he still playing?
Absolutely not. He's making pizzas in a Papa John's.
Remember last week, that Papa John's will give you heartburn. Now, don't listen to Shaq or Peyton Manning. I like Papa John's. It tastes really good, but it really hurt me the other couple weeks ago. So if it's Papa John's you're looking to sponsor, you can fix my heartburn. I can take a couple free ones.
We appreciate GGR being on there, though, and cheering these guys on, and they do, as we mentioned, they do a great job of supporting MDOT. So
yeah, well,
check those guys.
So another guy that supports him, Midwest Days of Thunder, an Xfinity driver. Does he drive? He drives in this league, doesn't he? Gary Sargent. We don't see him tonight.
Oh, he's the score master.
Yeah, he does all kinds of behind the scenes work. Good volunteer, good soldier here in Midwest Days of Thunder. But he drives a Jacksonville Jaguars machine, which I don't know. I've tried to get him to change that paint forever. That thing, he ain't gonna win nothing driving that thing around in circles.
You gotta respect the man has.
The colors are terrible. That teal, I just don't.
Loyalty.
It just.
Well, I'm kind of with you on the coach scheme. I'm not Jacksonville Jaguars ownership, so.
Okay. Yeah, we're not
no,
really
man,
up to that level.
Hey, man, I suffered through the Saints Aaron Brooks years, so.
Were you wearing the paper bag on your helmet?
Yes, I did. Yes,
Tony Fry, even though he's
the 5 is in the wall.
Yeah, a little bit.
Tabor Mowry hit the outside wall, Brown. Did you see that?
I did, as he was being passed by Tony Fry just recently. Well, I can't say recently. It was back on lap 104, but might be having those fresher tires. But Tabor Mowry's now got his teammate and leader, William Brown, breathing down his neck, trying to put him a lap down. And, man, William Brown, he's might dang near lap almost the whole field up to the top 3.
Oh, that'd be something, wouldn't it? And Tabor, Maury is sick, but I don't know what it is. I'm not a doctor, and he just mentioned he was ill, and I hope he doesn't have his puke bucket there. And that might have been what happened. He had to, use the bucket while he hit the wall there. So,
Hey, I've been there, done that, man. First, right when iRacing came out with the endurance stuff, the first race that was available was 24 Hours of Spa. And me and 2 other guys had put in some work, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. Well, it was ended up being my turn to drive. Made it up Al Rouge all right. Next thing I know, I needed to lean over and hit that bucket up, and I know how it is.
Did you finish the race? That's the key.
I finished my stint. Unfortunately, the car did not make it the rest of the race.
That's called toughing it out, man. That's a professional, and that's part of the deal with iRacing, man. It's just kind of addicting. It's like we said, way cheaper than buying a real race car, is it not?
Oh, it definitely is.
I think that if I did a Bathurst race in VR, I'd probably need a bucket too because of all the left-right stuff that was going on. And Adam S. on YouTube, thanks as always, Adam. Thank you for being with us tonight. He said, "Happy Friday, fellas. Just cracked open a cold Coors." And Adam, thank you so much, Adam, for all that Coors we loaded on a truck, and we did haul it across state lines. So if I know my 1970s movie history very well, I know that I did some bootlegging.
Yeah, you couldn't take back in the late 70s, early 80s. You couldn't take Coors east to Texas. So
a truckload of it from Texas to Louisiana.
Well, you just told on yourself that the Brandon administration's going to come find you.
They're probably already listening in on me.
That's probably true. We'll leave it at that.
Pimp's got the 48 breathing right up on his back end. Here he comes on the inside.
Yeah, this guy's
Brown's
working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter and real Mrs. Annabelle Peaches tonight. He's doing double work.
He's on a roll.
And so William Brown lapping all the way to 5th place here. Don't think he's got enough time. Got 16 laps left here to go. And everyone's all fairly well spaced out. Everyone's got about a 2-second gap from each other than some of these lap guys might have a little bit of a situation going on with these drivers as they go around. But I'm thinking the current order that we see right now, barring any craziness, is probably where we're going to see everybody finish up here today.
Yeah, there's not much high drama right now, but I think we're going to have high drama next week at Richmond, to be honest with you. And that's what I just can't wait for the trailer report after that race, because I'll be down there in the haulers just seeing who's going to fist fight. Hopefully it'll be like 2 or 3 of these guys.
As the 70 of McComas has a complete motor rebuild in those pits, he's back out there running.
Good on him for coming back out and just turning some laps. He might make a position or two, as he's got a couple guys that are between him and the lead cars that he might be able to actually pass here.
Yeah, he could. I mean, hey, every spot is something. It's definitely possible. Well, I tell you what, the old cheap fake fireplace just went out. The old space heater. You ever have one of them cheap fireplace space heater things that got the lights on it, It's getting cold down here on the Red River tonight. Yeah, turn that thing back on.
Cold.
My part of the Red River is a little bit warmer. I think we hit 70-something degrees today, but in the morning it's going to be 37.
Yeah, same here. It was beautiful today. It's just chilling out right now. A little chilly. About 45 right now.
70 just bounced off of the wall right there in the quad oval.
Well, that's the other thing too. Without that fast repair, all the repairs that he got done are all natural. So whatever damage he had from that wreck that wasn't repairable, he's still dealing with that.
Yeah, I know you're hearing us complain about the cold, Brown. What is the temperature up there in the New England area right now?
Right now, I think it's actually not too bad. We had a weather front go through that was hitting you guys the other night. It is currently 47 right now, but
Oh, it's just as cold here.
yeah, we our highs for the next week is going to be 47.
It was a nor'east.
Ugh.
No, it was just a big old band of storms going through. Flooded our highways pretty good. Dumped, like 2 or 3 inches of rain in the matter of like 15 minutes. It was crazy.
47 is the high?
Yeah.
No, I'm out. Sorry, you're on your own. We'll send a rescue team.
Stay in Ardmore.
Well, no, I'm down here on the border. I'll just stay where I'm at.
As William Brown continues to lead this one, coming across the line here. 9 laps left to go in this 150 lap, 225-mile race at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's got the 70 of McComas. McComas also, thinking back to it now, he also might have just been out of rhythm. I mean, he was just sitting in the pits for, over 30 minutes. So he's running out there, maybe not all warmed up like he was at the start, and has to go back out there, find the rhythm, which it looks like he is finding. And I don't know if he's going to try to get back around William Brown here to maybe get 1 lap back, but definitely 8 laps to go now, and this one is ticking down.
So Klein trying to search for a win, even though he's not a playoff contender. He's still 3.8 seconds behind William Brown, and on a track like this, that is an eternity. That's a football field, folks. So he's way back, and Justin Malarkey's about 4 seconds behind Klein. So it's very spaced out. Now you got the 70 right behind the 48. That's one of the things you gotta have to worry about is the guys on newer tires maybe disrupting the lead lap cars. As here comes the 70 below the 48.
And it looks like it looked like the 48 of William Brown on trying to see when. I can't really see what lap he actually eventually came out on. We know he pitted on 75, but 70 there, he's on fresher tires even with all that damage. So these guys, they're approaching 50 laps on these things. They shouldn't really be too difficult to pass as the 70 gets back around that 48. I think this might be a straight line thing. I think the 70's got the speed in the corner, just not necessarily the speed in on these straightaways.
Got a little bit of radio communication between the 48 and 70 on the radio.
Yeah, I think somebody may be playing games with somebody. And then we have some actual... We could have some fights here, boys.
Well, we just had the League HR guy come up on the radio and key up. Richard Ray, old Michelob, came up and said, hey, man, if you're in this situation... probably
Richard,
give the leaders a little bit of leeway here.
If you have Richard Michelob Gray get on the mic during a race as he's watching it, you probably need to check yourself, because some shenanigans are happening.
Let's be clear, though. These guys have a right to race for position, but it's one of those situations. Do you do it and piss people off?
Yes.
Or Do you? I knew that was coming. Or do you think about next week? You know.
Well, so not only that though, but yeah, McComas kind of realizes the position he's in and whatnot. But that being said, if he can cleanly, which he did, get around the 48, and even if the 48 can't get back around him, that 70's got teammates there in that 73 of Justin Malarkey. So if he can, slow him up, I mean, it would have to be a heck of a slow up, as we now have 2 laps to go, going on to the white flag lap here in just a second. It would, just to help out his teammate. And everything's legitimate here. And here we go, taken to that white flag. William Brown coming through this quad oval and heading down off into turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Almost 3.5 seconds clear of Greg Klein, and even more so back to Justin Malarkey there in third, down this back straightaway that has seen some great action here tonight. One more time through 3 and 4, making a nice smooth exit, and that Lotte Motorsport 48 of William Brown comes across the line, winner here at Charlotte, with Greg Klein rolling it off here third, and Justin Malarkey coming across in third.
Yeah, Greg Klein made P2, Malarkey P3, and Neidig had a really good run tonight.
Yeah, Joe Neidig up there finished fourth. Great run from him, up 3 spots, but biggest movers, that William Brown 48 up 11, picking up the win as the fireworks go off.
Yeah, he's going to burn it down. It looks like William Brown's going to enjoy his win. I think we're looking for big things for him for next season.
Yeah, William Brown just unfortunately not able to make as much races as he wanted to, and not being eligible for these playoffs. But if he was, he would definitely be, I think, one of our picks here. He's extremely quick week in and week out. Kind of really doesn't matter too much what track it is. And right now, coming away with the win, and all that means for that playoff picture is that these guys are just going to have to find another way to get these points and try to get the win next week. But right now, let's take a start at our interviews here. We'll start with our second place finisher, as he's jumping into that podium channel now, and that's going to be the 92 of Mr. Greg Klein, finishing here in second. Now, unfortunately, out of the playoffs. Otherwise, this would be a good result for you in that aspect. But still, a solid race coming from you here tonight, Greg. Knew it was a little bit of a snooze fest, but early on looked like you had a lot of action.
Yeah, I tried to keep it interesting early, but 48 car was just too fast. I couldn't keep up with him for a long run. Seem to be getting good at these second places now, 3 weeks in a row. I guess that's a bright side.
So, should we call you Mr. Second Place? I know you wouldn't like that, would you?
Ain't nothing wrong with silver.
Oh, come on. I know you wanted to go out there. But I'd like to, first of all, thank you for your service, Greg. I know you're a Navy man, and we talked about that a little bit during the broadcast.
And an enlisted guy, too, man.
Yeah, the toughest job in the Navy, isn't it?
Sonar technician, probably not, but I loved Mike Simone's paint job there with all the vets on it. Thanks to him for putting that on the track. That was really killer. Other than that, man, this was a fun race, physical. I'm a little tired, but I think we did pretty well.
Sure enjoyed watching you, and we knew that you were out there for a win, but if you could help your teammate, you would. But, man, Schimmel he had a rough night tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Derek really likes this track particularly, so he's not real good at it. If I could have helped him, I would, but he just was nowhere around me most of the time, so just wasn't a whole lot I could do to help him. But
Good at Richmond. What are you looking forward to next week?
I'm usually decent at Richmond. Richmond's really a rhythm type track, the short track, and I'm usually okay at those. So hopefully, let's keep the second place streak going or make it one spot a little better.
All right, man. Well, again, congrats on the P2. Got any shout outs you want to be doing?
All the fellow vets out here. This was Veterans Day week, and just like me, I appreciate everybody else's service. You guys, great broadcast as always. Taver, hope he feels better. That's pretty much it, guys. Appreciate everything.
Alrighty, man. Well, good luck next week, and good luck to the Angry Idiots.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, now we're gonna go down to our third place finisher here, and that's that 73 of Justin Malarkey. Starting kind of far in the back here today, but clawing his way back up to a podium finish here in third. Not able to get the win, but this third's definitely going to help you out here in these playoffs. I know for whatever reason, these last couple races hasn't really been your race, Justin, but still finding a way to get it done and keep moving on. But yeah, solid third place here. Just talk about the pace that these guys were setting out here. It looked like these guys were in different time zones at sometimes.
Yeah, the pace was definitely crazy. I pretty much in the beginning was just trying to maintain the pace and not go too crazy up there battling and all that. And I wanted the track to come with me. Wait till the sun came down. But yeah, the 48 was just way faster all night.
Did you guys have a pit strategy that y'all were just going to split it up into a a two-stop race? Were you guys pretty committed to that, or?
Yeah, pretty much just 50-50, like lap 50 and then 100, and then just run it to the end. I mean, I think we could have went to 60, so we could have just 60 and 120, but it just felt like it was going to be a caution-free race with the field being less and less every week. Yeah, so I mean, kind of figure just go 50-50.
Well, we're not going to see that next season. I think we're going to see a lot more cars, obviously, because of the growing league, Midwest Days of Thunder. But you're in this thing. What do you think about next week at Richmond?
Yeah, Richmond, hopefully I didn't jinx it and it turns into a bunch of cautions with the short track there. But hopefully not. Hopefully everyone will be good and we could do another caution-free race. That would be nice. I got to figure out some of my short run and medium run speed because I felt like it took me until like the last 10 laps of the run before I made any ground up on anyone.
All right, well, good luck to that, man. I know you got some shout-outs, so I'll give you a second to do those. And
thanks to Isaac Steven for the whole race. I know Steven's actually running awesome. He got around me in the beginning of the race, and then he got into an incident halfway through. But, I mean, he's picked up the pace so much, which is great. It's just good for the team effort there with us. And shout out to all my family. We all drove from Virginia today, so we did about 400-mile trip, and I did about another 300 here tonight. So I'm gonna go to sleep.
Wow!
Yeah, this was a lot faster doing this 400 miles or whatever versus today.
man,
Well, you're tired, man. So congrats.
I was looking forward to it.
Yeah, you put some real time in.
Yeah, 1 week with no sim. Man, that's like an addiction right there. I was waiting for it. Counting down the minutes.
well, man, glad you were able to make it here tonight, and look forward to seeing what you can do at Richmond next week. And good luck to you guys and your team.
Yeah, shout out to you guys too. I know. Thanks for doing the broadcast and all that. I know it's a lot to do, so appreciate it, and hope you had a good night.
Awesome, thanks, Justin.
See you.
And moving on up to our race winner here today, that's that 48 of William Brown, driving away, having really, once when he was able to come up through that field, up 11 spots. Yes, folks, 11 spots. This man drove like a crazy man there in that first stint, ducking and dodging and diving all around and making it up to that front. And once when you got up there, William, you never looked back.
Oh yeah, it was real fun going through the field in that first stint. Just kind of took it easy for a while, saved these tires, took real good care of them, and made my way up. And I just carried that same kind of tempo the whole way through, and it kept me out front.
We were watching the 92 of Klein. He's one of those tire saving guys that you and him both. There's a couple other guys out there that can do it, that stretch tires just to an ungodly limit. And you guys are great at it, but you still beat him by 3.5 seconds. Would if a caution did come out late, do you think it would have hurt you or helped you?
Hurt me for sure. I was in full tire saving mode this whole race. I don't think I knew how to not save my tires, how to run in a way that doesn't save tires, and be fast and not overdo it. So I think having to do a sprint at the end, a 2-lap sprint to the finish, I think he would have probably outdone me, for sure. And with everybody being grouped back up, I think a lot of people would have been very hungry at the end. We would have seen some moves that, might have played in some people's favor, might not have played in others. I think it definitely would have been worse for me. So I'm glad that one did not come out.
Well, it was amazing watching you out there tonight. But I got a 2-part question.
He's an Ohio guy too.
Oh God, and
Adam.
this is going to play perfectly into this. So, obviously, next week my first question will be next week at Richmond. You're the spoiler guy. You're not in the playoffs. You're good enough to be in the playoffs. You just didn't happen to be, obviously, for this season. What's your game plan into Richmond? And also, let's just add on, what was going on with you and McComas out there at the end of the race? I was some fighting words. I heard some things. And go ahead and give me your answer there.
All right, the first part, Richmond. I'm not in the playoffs, like you said, but I know I can run real fast out there and finish, really well every single race on a given week. And I'm out here to win, just like everybody else is. If my teammates can't win it, but I can, then I'm possibly taking away a spot for someone else to win their way in, And I'd rather it be someone on our team that wins than somebody else who's in the playoffs not on our team. It just takes one more spot away from my teammates who are in the playoffs. So I'm out there trying to run as hard as I can to win every race as well. Doing what I can, being mindful of the other guys who are in the playoffs. I'm not trying to wreck nobody or rough them up. But I am trying to, I don't come out here just to go for an evening stroll or something like that, on the racetrack. That's not the point. So, Richmond, I'm going to be trying just as hard as everybody else is. We'll see how that plays out. And then to the second part of your question, I don't know. I mean, I think he had some damage from an earlier incident. I didn't know if it put him under power or not. He was real fast in turns and seemed like he'd catch me, and then I let him by because I knew he's on 30-lap newer tires. And then as soon as he's around me, it's like I'm catching right up to him again on the straightaway, and I'm trying to figure that out. I didn't know if he was slowing me down or if he was down on power. He said he's not down on power, so that's when I decided to make a snide comment. Not that I think he'd be doing anything on purpose. I don't know. In the moment, you think one thing, but it probably wasn't the case.
Emotion.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here like I'm leading. Ever since I got in the lead, I'm there, and I'm just hoping like I'm not going to get held up, am I? And not saying he was doing anything on purpose, but in my head, at that moment, I'm just sitting there kind of worrying about that. Like, is that what's going on? I don't want to lose this race because I'm stuck.
Right.
But
I just want to clarify, and you know what? It's all for the fun. I don't think there was anything crazy going on, but it was fun to listen to because obviously you were running away with it, and I like to ask the tough questions to the drivers, and I know you're not in it. The playoffs right now, but next season you're going to be in it, and we're going to see some awesome driving. and I hope all this fun stuff carries over, to next season.
Oh, I don't
Congrats.
know. I appreciate you for saying I'll be in it next season, but you never know because
Well, I have faith.
there's a lot of talent, coming up that I think we're gonna be having a lot of competition, close competition next season. So I wouldn't jump the gun on that yet. I like to think I will be, but I think it's gonna be a real competitive season next year or next season. Next year, yeah, right. It'll be 2022.
Yeah, it'll be next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, congrats on the win here, Mr. Brown. And got any shout-outs to do before we let you go?
Well, yeah, I got Taver, Joe, racing with those guys. They're going for a championship. They're my teammates. Big shout out to those guys, especially as Taver as a team owner. Yeah, we got McLobe, Richard McLobe Gray, the trusty spotter, pit chief. I don't want to call him a cheerleader, but he's like the biggest fan. Of
He
his
wears
Zen
a
team.
lot of hats, don't he?
He's a man of many hats and many talents. We had Blake in there with us as well. Kind of keeping us informed and cheering us on. So just shout out to those guys. And shout out to you guys as well, broadcasting.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win here today. And good luck to you guys and your team at Richmond next week.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Well, that does it here tonight, there, fellas, and not too much craziness to talk about, but a nice, fairly clean flag to flag run that we didn't think we would necessarily see, but hey, we got it.
Yeah, no, man, I had fun. I was just trying to start a little bit of fun, and I'm looking forward to next week. I really think we're going to see some tough racing next week because we're getting a little bit closer to that final race in Kentucky.
And as we do kind of get down to it, next week's going to be that penultimate race, the second to last race, the last chance to get into that championship four. And we'll just have to see how these drivers handle it. But for tonight, let's get the full race rundown here. We got William Brown picking up the win, up 11 spots, being the biggest mover of this race. Picking up that win, you got Greg Klein in the 92, finishing right where he started there in second. A great run from him. Also a great run from the 73 of Justin Malarkey to finish here in third, up 5 spots. The 24 of Joe Neidick also had a pretty solid run to finish here in fourth. The 21 of Maine's own Michael Pimpere had a solid run here as well, finishing in fifth. You got that 5 of Taver Mowry battling through some sickness right now, doing a great job to finish sixth. You got the 10 of Matt Forns. Looks like he had some issues there late, sliding down into seventh, but still managing to kind of hang on and keep with it. The 96 of Derek Schimmel finishing 8th, so a solid, just easy-going run from him. The 64 of Tony Fry, unfortunately having some of those connection issues, being able to jump back in eventually here to finish 9, and rounding out that top 10 is Red Stick Mike Simone, number 27 in that great paint scheme. Don't know what happened to him. He ended up coming down on like lap 109 and just really never coming back out, but still able to get a 10th place finish, and I'll just hang on to it for the rest of these here. Stephen McComas, the 70, getting a 11th place finish there after an incident about midway through the race, and the 22 of Justin Barkley, Mr. Mac and Cheese, looked like he showed up for a couple laps, but had to go and eat his mac and cheese or something, and
he qualified third, though, man. What a great qualifying run for Barkley.
Yeah,
but he just couldn't race it. But
yeah, so and that's it. That's everybody. All 12 cars that raced under the lights here at Charlotte. We thank you all for tuning in and watching. We appreciate all y'all's support, and week in, week out at all the races that we put on here, and bearing with us today as we had some technical issues and all that kind of stuff. And special thanks again to Maverick Simulations for all your sim rig and simulation needs. Definitely go check them out. High quality, amazing equipment. You know, you're definitely getting what you paid for and more when you go through these guys and get some of their stuff. And it's very awesome stuff. So definitely go check those guys out. And thank you to them for broadcasting this race. And that does it here for us at Charlotte. We look forward to seeing what the Xfinity guys can do next week on Monday as their playoffs are ticking down. They're going into their second to last race. So you're definitely going to want to stick around and stay tuned for that one. Until then, I am Alan Brown, and for Alan English and Adam Turner, we are signing off.
And thanks to all of our fellow vets, and thanks to Michael Simone for being such a patriot, such a guy that's an advocate for our nation's vets, and also to you, Adam Turner, one of our first responder guys that you guys need a holiday too, man. I may have to write my congressman to get you guys a holiday.
No, we're riding y'all's coattails. Y'all are doing the freedom abroad. We do the freedom here.
Hey,
it's a team effort, and I love being
a
part of both. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the veterans too. And thank you, Brown, and thank you, English. Good race, and see ya.
We gone.